Welcome to Archeotech Assimilation, where we discover and investigate the technology of the Imperium and the tools of chaos. Hello everyone, and welcome to this episode of Archeotech Assimilation. My name is John, and I'm joined by Glenn. Hello mate, how are you doing?
Very good, how are you?
I'm good mate, I'm very good. And as you can all see, we're here to talk about episode 3 of the Exodite, which is called Ashes. And what do you make of this being a 3-parter?
You know what? Up until the third one,
Yeah,
I was sort of, little story. It's over and done with. The third one, sweet Jesus, it was a lot better than the other two. So now I'm a little bit, but well, they might do a second season of it or whatever. It'd be interesting.
We'll get without spoiling it too early. We will get to it. I'm sure we'll talk about how good this was compared to the other. And it was annoying because I don't think when we recorded the second one we knew there was only going to be one more. I think that was only announced fairly recently, and obviously we had a Hammer and Bolter come out randomly in between as well. Which was confusing. So I was disappointed when I found out it was only 3 parts. But the story
I think they did put up sort of like the release schedule of like the next sort of 4 episodes of stuff.
Yeah.
And I assumed it was 2 Exodite, 1 Hammer and Bolter, and then one of the new one, the Interrogator one. I didn't realize it was going to be 2 more Exodite, and that's it.
Yeah.
But hopefully we see more.
Yeah, hopefully. It was good. So I'll tell you what, let's get into the episode, and then we'll talk about the series as a whole at the end and wrap it up, I think. Cool. So obviously continuing on from where we last were, this episode starts with the Eldar himself narrating to us that the wheel of war keeps on turning and things always end up the same no matter what path is taken, and doesn't matter what the good guys' intentions are, it's always the same, pain and suffering. And while he's talking, he's sort of next to what looks like an inactive Stargate, but it's a webway, and we see a ship land nearby.
Stargate, wrong franchise.
I know. That's what I thought. It wasn't until like my brain kicked into gear. I was like, why is that like a Stargate? And then obviously, I know what it is.
Yeah.
And then we cut to Lacoma and her last fire warrior. He says his armor's too heavily damaged, and they're in the middle of the war zone, so he's not going to be able to use his jetpack and fly with her. Even though they know where the enemy is, he gives over the coordinates and says he'll buy her some time. So she jetpacks off for the greater good, and he stays behind and fixes up his drone, and then he starts walking off. So Lacoma flies around and then lands at now and sort of more active looking webway, or the beacon at least is active, and the Eldar's kneeling next to it, and he welcomes her, and she's surprised that he can speak her language, and he says that her language is as simple as her belief system, and they sort of argue back and forward, and she says that the truth is simple, and he's like, oh well, your truth is bathed in fire, and she sort of tries to reason that fire won't just destroy stuff, but it is the pathway to new life, and he just isn't having it really. And as they're talking, you can see that she's sort of like doing a bit of a cowboy sheriff, like opening a little pouch down by her waist, like who's going to shoot first sort of thing. And she sort of says to him, look, we're here to end the conflict. And he says, all you're doing is ending to the never-ending cycle of suffering. And they sort of just keep arguing back and forth. And she says, look, I'm going to prove you wrong. And he says, "No, you're not." And he activates his spear, and with that, a drone pops up out by the side and starts firing some sort of flashbangs at him. And the fire warrior uncloaks, grabbing the Eldar from behind. And Lacoma pulls out what looks like a beaded necklace from a pouch, throws it into the air, and we get this slow motion matrix shot of the beads sort of electrifying in the air, and then the Eldar spinning the tower around, and the fire warrior takes the brunt and gets electrocuted and falls down. And then I think that's such a good shot where he throws his dagger and it embeds itself like an inch away from her face.
Yeah, that was sweet.
Yeah, that was good. And then the webway activates behind them. And what do you think? What do you think of these things that come through then? Because I didn't know what they were. I was wrong. I thought they were Wraith Lords at first.
Yeah, no, Wraith Lord might come up to about their knee. That's that's a couple of Phantom Titans. That's sort of like the biggest Titans that the Eldar have, and they are very badass compared to like the Titans we've seen in episode 1. I want to say,
Yeah,
the Imperium stuff's really slow and lumbering, whereas they come out and they're just like, we move like an Eldari.
yeah, they're very graceful. Which is really weird. So because we don't get to see inside, but I don't know. So are they crewed the same way, or are they crewed by one person? Like Avatar style?
I think there's multiple people in there, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
Because I know Wraith Lord's obviously just stones.
Yeah.
Wraith Knight, I'm pretty sure there's a living guy in there.
Yeah.
And I think his dead twin in the back as well.
Nice.
I don't know where I've got that from. Them, I don't know if it is just one bloke and like loads of their little soul stones, or whether there's multiple people in the crew. I don't know.
Yeah. They're cool. They're decent. So 2 of them walk through the webway, and because Lacoma had already signaled to get airlifted out, the ship swings by, and the Titan just shoots out the sky, and she screams out in dismay. And the Eldar says, "How can you cry out over one death? Well, my world burns for your greater good." And then he steps on and snaps the neck of her mate who was still laying on the floor. And you just hear,
it's pretty brutal. Just you
just hear him going. They didn't hold back with that. I thought it was quite funny. So she then charges at him in rage, and he pulls his mask off and looks quite content. And she sort of spears into him, and they go flying into the webway. And the screen goes white, and a voice begins to talk to the Eldari, calls him a child of sorrow, and says, "But don't worry, your spirit is still attached to your body." And the speaker introduces itself as the mirror of the mind and the dancer of dreams. Is that a character or a figure you recognize?
No, that's just a random name. But it is it's a Harlequin, but I can't remember what specific. What is it? Shadow Weaver, maybe. I can't remember the exact name of it, but yeah, that's a Harlequin.
Oh yeah, well, I suppose the checks give it away. It's checkered shirt or checkered pattern gives it away a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was, so yeah, I don't really know why.
It's basically the Harlequin Psyker. I can't remember the exact name.
Okay. So the Harlequin then is telling him that the world's going to be saved. The humans will pour more blood into the ashes, and the newly risen tower will stagger bloodied away from the stage. And the Eldari sort of relaxes, saying that his work is done. And the speaker says not to look for death. There is more work he could be doing, and holds up a mask and asks him to tell his story. Does that mask mean anything to you?
Yeah. You see him at the end, down in the 4th picture there, wearing that mask. That is the mask of a death jester. So it's a heavy support of the Harlequins. He basically plays death in the little plays and songs that they do.
So it's like a new job for him, then promotion or
Yeah, pretty much.
thing, you know?
Yeah.
So meanwhile, Lacoma is in a much less appealing place. Hers is more misty and gloomy, and a sinister voice starts talking to her and tells her that the heart of the person who crosses through the threshold leads them to journey's end. And this is where vengeance has brought her. And she starts looking around, panicking, as the voice is laughing at her. And she turns and faces out the fog, and we see the mystery speaker behind her, the deaf jester, and she's looking out at a very unpleasant sight. And that's where the episode ends. So,
do you get any points for knowing where the place is?
yeah, you can have all the points. You can have 50 points.
No. I was going to ask you because there's several things have cropped up in this episode, and you're like, I don't know what this is.
Well, I'm going to say it's either some sort of craft world or space hulk. They're my two guesses.
Cormorath.
Okay.
That's the Dark Elder City. By the looks of it, anyway.
Right.
Because that exists in the webway as well.
So she's royally in trouble then?
Yeah, she proper boned.
Yeah. So I imagine that if there is a season 2, I don't think we'll see her again unless it's going to be a season of her getting tortured.
I wouldn't imagine we'd see her again. Maybe, because at the end of the day, it is the Exodite, and the Exodite is the Eldari, not the Tau.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, yeah. So I suppose he's not going to be an Exodite anymore, is he? He's
found and no, he's not. Yeah,
so.
He's back in the fold.
Oh, we didn't talk about though. I know you mentioned it, but the top picture there, the Titans going at each other, like the Phantom Titan just ran at it and pretty much slices it clean in half. The Space Marines Titan, I like that.
Yeah, well, it's doing a nifty little knee slide as well. You wouldn't see too many Imperial Titans doing that kind of shit.
No, and that's what I was wondering. Is it like it must be mental if it's got more than one person operating it, because it just ran like basically like a giant, didn't it? But the other thing is a big machine.
Yeah. Well, the thing with all like Eldar stuff is they have minimal crew, but they have the spirits of the dead in the stones, so not quite by themselves.
So as a series whole, then, if it's only half an hour, so watch it all as a one, and you'd probably enjoy it more, because I know like Dave really doesn't like it all being broken up. I don't know, he just doesn't understand how a series works, I think. Living in the modern age.
He's a bloody miserable millennial who can't get used to like having to wait a week or 2 weeks for the next episode. I remember back in the day when that used to happen.
Yeah. But you watch it as one. I liked it. I thought it was good. I would have liked more, but then for the story they've told, it was fine.
Yeah.
And it looks really good. Looks really good.
I don't know whether it was just because everything was a little bit more slower moving in the last episode as well, but I thought it was just it was an easier watch, because like a lot of the flashy battle stuff in the first couple, it was a little bit hard to tell what was going on. Whereas because this episode was a bit more story and narrative driven, and there wasn't as much jumping about and shooting and stuff. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
I would say, as a whole, based on like the first couple of episodes, I probably would have only given it about a 3 out of 10, maybe 4 out of 10 at a push.
Yeah.
But the last episode alone is probably elevated it up to a strong 6.
Yeah, I could see that.
Up towards maybe a 7, just because the last episode is just far, far superior to the other 2.
I like, you know what, actually, what I liked is how when they first advertised it, we just assumed this was going to be a Tau series, and then you got the first episode was very Tau heavy. Second episode, oh right, actually we're not here for Tau, we're here for the Elder, and then the last episode, actually, well, it's not their story at all. It's completely different.
Yeah.
So I like to turn it on its head a bit.
I mean, anyone who isn't a newbie
Yeah.
will know that it was an Eldar story.
Yeah.
Because that is what the Exodites are. But yeah.
That's it. And that's
sorry to just piss all over your dreams.
But I'm not the only one that's gonna from our group anyway, because most of us are complete idiots. I meant noobs.
Yeah.
So that's why we look to you. That's why I asked you all these questions our way through it.
That's true.
So but even like not knowing, it's like, oh, that's interesting. Well, that's cool. What's that? So you'll probably get more texts from the next show that we get, which I can't remember what it is. It's the black and white one.
Yeah.
It could be good. It could be good. But this is the thing, you got to see them through, haven't you?
If the story's good.
Yeah.
And yeah, we kind of got to see it through, because I think we're only a couple of months away from our free model. So you sort of, I'm committed now. I want that goddamn thing to come.
Oh shit,
yeah.
We'll see how it goes. Anyway, I liked it. Hopefully the next season's good, or we get some more Hammer and Bolter as well, because they're always good.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm not going to go completely through it, but put in Google Iron and Ceramite, and we'll pop up over it. Or you go on to Instagram, and then in our bio is our link tree, and then everything's there, and you can just have a look through it that way, and it all links together nicely. So let us know what you thought about this series as a whole. Let us know what you think about the animations that we're getting from Warhammer, and what you're hoping to see from the Interrogator, I think it's called, which is coming next. Yeah, so let us know, and we will see you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
As always, we would like to thank you for listening to our Iron and Ceramite podcast. If you liked us, then you can also find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and any other good podcast services. Just remember, in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war.